when I'm down. You gave me life. You gave me peace of mind. What more can I say? Great and mighty are your works. Your endless testimony. And you every morning. What more can I say? You are the reason why I live. You are the reason why I breathe. There is nothing to compare you. My God is great. Oh, He is great. God is great. He is great. Yeah. My God is great. Oh. God is real. Oh, my God is real. Oh, God is real. Oh, creator of the universe, the beauty of my life. You are the Lord and reigning King. What more can I say? I want for perfume, Kabiyesi, the air that I breathe, the reason for my being. What more can I say? You are the reason why I live. You are the reason why I breathe. There is nothing to compare you. My God is me. Oh, He is me. God is me, He is me. My God is me. Oh, oh, oh. You're me. Oh, my God is me. Oh, you are me. Yes, yes, yes. My God is me. What more can I say? You are the reason why I live. You are the reason why I breathe. There is nothing to compare you. My God is real. Oh, God is real. Oh, my God is real. Oh, God is real. Oh, you are the reason why I live. You are the reason why I breathe. There is nothing to compare you. Bless your name, Lord. I give you thanks, Lord. I give you the glory, Lord, for everything you've done for me, Lord. You are the only Lord, I got, Lord. I give you thanks for everything you've done for me. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's Alex.
It's a new day, another day in the week. Yes, yes, yes. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to get some work on. And we're talking about some interviews. I'm talking about some beautiful gospel music. And as you know, ladies and gentlemen, we are in our new year. So let's continue in the vibe that we have been in. New songs, new artists, new singles. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. Today's show is sponsored by Script of Virtue Collections. If you need your books, planners, or if you need journals, blogging, music counseling, etc., contact them at 876-367-7413, or you can go to their website at scriptofvirtue.business.site. Don't go anywhere. I am your host for today, Tracey Williams. Watch this one you walk from dusk till dawn. Don't you see that Sahara and Corona gone? Why don't you go to Script of Virtue and order yourself a book? Get yourself a journal, no man. or even get a book for your children. Their number is 876-367-7413, or you can go to their business site at scriptofvirtue.business.site. Shaman.
Want to learn to play music with a revolutionary musical experience? K-Don Music Academy offers online and face-to-face lessons for piano, guitar, drum set, violin, viola, cello, voice, saxophone, trumpet, flute, and music theory. Call 876-442-2721. That's 876-442-2721. Visit our Facebook page at K-Don Music Academy and follow us on Instagram at K-Don Music Academy 1. Experience the power of music. Music Academy. Register now.
The invisible battle. The reality of life is that we are always surrounded by opposition from our enemy, the devil. We know this because the Bible presents us with a great conflict between God and Satan, light and darkness, between good and evil in the spirit realm. And in the middle of this cosmic conflict is you and me. We are told in the Bible that this spiritual battle spills into each of our lives. There is therefore a call for every believer to be vigilant, alert, and not ignorant of this invisible battle. The Holy Spirit, through the Holy Scriptures, instructs us like this in Colossians 4 verse 2. Continue earnestly in prayer, being vigilant in it with thanksgiving. Other versions say, devote yourselves to prayer, being watchful. We need to have a devotion to our prayer life like nothing else. And we are also called to be vigilant, because the devil is always awake and walking about, waiting for the opportune time. The time that we are not alert and vigilant, so that he can accomplish his schemes and devour us. Be sober. Be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, walks about like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. With this knowledge, can any one of us children of God afford to relax in their walk with God? Not at all. Instead, it is time for everyone to put on the whole armor of God. Ephesians 6 verse 11, put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. One day a great army of Syria with horses and chariots had come and surrounded the city dwelt by the Israelites. By the grace of God, there was a servant of God known as Elisha, who was always vigilant. He knew everything that was happening in the spirit world. Therefore, when the servant of Elisha arose early and went out, he was surprised to see an army surrounding the city with horses and chariots. He became terrified and fearful of what his eyes were showing him. He knew that they were doomed and ready for destruction. We shouldn't be so quick to judge the servant, because I think this is something that we do a lot also. We look at the situations and the storms and the enemies that surround us in the natural, and forget that we have the Lord on our side. What this servant couldn't see was what had already been done in the spirit world. There was a great army of the Lord already prepared for their defense. Elisha had to intervene by praying to God to open the eyes of this servant so that he could see both those who were for him. And when his eyes were open, he was amazed to see a great army of the Lord protecting them from the attack of the Syrian army. 2 Kings 6 verse 17. And Elisha prayed and said, Lord, I pray, open his eyes that he may see. Then the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw. And behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire all around Elisha. All this happened through Elisha's prayer. This shows the power of prayer in our lives. I want to highlight this point. God has resources and power you know nothing about. Yes, the spot you are in currently looks like there is no way out. But you have God whose ways are above your ways. The servant only saw the army before him, just like maybe you are only able to see the problems before you, not knowing the infinite wells of resources God has at his disposal. We see that the faith of Elisha's servant was limited due to the circumstances of what he could see with his physical eyes. However, Elisha could see what the servant did not. The servant was not aware of everything that was before him. He was not in tune with the Spirit, therefore he could not see beyond the physical. In the physical realm, it seemed like everything was against them, but in the spiritual realm, the situation was so far from the hopeless spectacle the servant could see. God was on their side. He had not left them alone, and Elisha knew this. The same experiences haven't changed in our time. Sometimes you and I go as far as the eye can see, and we see the supposed limitations, but my prayer and your prayer is to ask God, the Almighty, to give us the realm of the spiritual insight that was in Elisha. You see, if God is to grant this to us, we would walk through life with no fear, with no worries, with no anxiety, because we know in whom we have believed in. God is with you. God is for you. God is on your side. He is ahead of you. He is behind you. You are not alone. God has not fallen asleep. God still has the reins in your life. You may not be in control, but He is. You may not see the end from the beginning, but He does. Your Father in heaven is in control. Your perspective in life must be that of Elisha. We must pray to have our spiritual eyes opened, just like the servant. You must always remember that if God is for you, then no one can be against you. Prayer is the most underutilized resource in the life of believers. Prayer should not be our last resort. Prayer should be our first resort. The heart of all prayer is intercession. If you are going to pray, pray without ceasing. Pray until all worldly pleasures become fleeting. Pray in season and when the season has ended. Pray until your trials stop because they have become offended. If you are going to pray, go further and engage in prayer and fasting. Deny your appetites now and hold on to the everlasting. Be willing to pray even if your knees get tired. If you are going to pray, pray thy kingdom come. Pray for all and not just for some. Pray believing that you can command the disobedient mountain. Pray knowing that God's bounty is an eternal fountain. Pray. Pray and don't quit when it gets hard. Pray. Pray and keep going even when it gets cold. Pray. Pray and keep fighting because your life depends on it. Pray. Pray and keep believing that God is your omnipotent provider no matter the cost. Keep on praying. You can't avoid the battle of life, but you can pray. If you are going to pray, pray when others stop and have fallen asleep. Pray so you can escape the darkness deep in your soul. Pray and beseech God to make you whole. Pray knowing that your weeping will end when the morning comes. If you are going to pray, pray. Hope and do not believe your fears. Pray. Trust in God and not your own ways. Pray boldly and do not shrink back from the task. Pray. Believe that God already knew what you would ask. If you are going to pray, pray knowing you have already received. Pray to God expecting a blessing because you believed. Pray and bind the forces of darkness and the pit of hell. Pray knowing that all will be well. God is waiting to delight in your prayers. If you are going to pray, pray fervently.
Where do I turn? Where do I run? There's no place for me to hide under the sun. What will I gain? What will I lose? There's so many questions, so many answers to choose. These are the thoughts that surrounding me. These are the things that concern me. These are the thoughts that surrounding me. These are the things that concern me. How much should I take? How much should I give? Is the God of the universe pleased with the way I live? How should I talk? How much should I love? Will my ways align with the ways above? These are the thoughts that surrounding me. These are the things that concern me. These are the thoughts that surrounding me. These are the things that concern me. Answers The answers, all of the answers, they're blowing, blowing in the wind. These are the thoughts that surround me. These are the things that concern me. These are the thoughts that surround me. These are the things that concern me.
Welcome back to the Lady Tracey Show right here on the hour, ladies and gentlemen. We have the lady Kathy Johnston right here with us. Kathy is from Ontario, but she is presently in Africa doing some work there. Kathy is a book author, and let's see what else she does. So welcome to the Lady Tracey Show, Kathy. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. I'm in Ontario. I'm not in Africa.
Okay. All right. That's good to know. But thank you for the privilege in having you with us. It's a pleasure to hear about your new book, Finding Lisa. It's a beautiful, adventurous book, and I believe that it will catch the children's eyes. But we want to know a little bit about it. But first, tell us a little bit about who Kathy Johnston is.
Well, I work with people that have brain damage, so I do a lot of work with memory and stuff like that. I have a 31-year-old son, and I live in Kitchener, Ontario. And my nephew came to me one time. We all go away every long weekend, not this summer, but last summer we were away, and he mentioned that. He felt like people weren't very happy with themselves anymore, and he thought that he wanted to know what we could do to help them feel better about themselves. And I said, I don't know, I'll think about it. And next time when we get together, I'll see if I have some ideas for us. And that's when I went home and I just went in and wrote Finding Lisa. It just kind of came to me. It was like somebody was helping me to write it. It's a beautiful story, and I'm really proud of it.
Wow, I am impressed as well, because it's really, you can tell that it has a lot of relational feedback to it. Persons can relate to what's happening, right? So, yeah. So tell us, you just mentioned how you came about this book, but is there anything specific you want our young readers to identify or to pay attention to reading this book?
Well, I just feel that even as an adult, sometimes we don't feel like we quite measure up. Like we don't quite feel like we're, everybody else seems to have so much more than us, or seems to have it all together. And we kind of feel like we're left in the shadows. And I just wanted everybody to know that, if you're honest and you're just who you are, who you truly are, not pretending at all, and just be that person, because that person is the one that's going to shine the brightest, and that's the person that's going to stand out in the crowd, not somebody that you pretend to be or that you make stories up to try and make yourself feel like you're more important, because you are important. No matter who you are, important.
Beautiful, and I agree with you. But if persons want to purchase this book, where can they go to get it, and what's the price of the book?
The price is Canadian. It's $17. It's on sale right now, I believe, for $16.50 on Amazon. So if you go to Amazon.ca, you can, or .com, you can put in Finding Lisa by Kathy Halliday Johnson, and you can get the book. You can get either the digital book or the paperback. The paperback is beautiful. It's got full-size pictures, and every other page has a picture on it, and they're beautiful pictures, and they're done by Vox Illustrations.
Awesome. All right. Is there any other book that you have out there you want us to know about, or you're thinking about doing?
Oh, yes. I'm actually in the process of writing a book about polar bears and Kodiak bears, and it's called Bear Naked, and it's about a polar bear family who is having a hard time in the Arctic because of global warming, and they've decided that they were going to move to Kodiak Island, and it's a little adventure about how they get there and the friends that they meet on the way. And it's really a good book.
Wow, I love the sound of that. That makes me want to just get you back on air when it's ready.
Oh, I hope you do. Definitely.
I love the sound of that, Kathy. I mean, little imaginations like this helps to keep the children intact, right? Because they want to know
definitely.
about things that are distinct or is about to be distinct, because we don't have a lot of polar bear now, do we? Right.
No, we don't, and that's the sad part. I've been watching a lot of documentaries on the polar bears, and it's very sad what's happening to them. And I just wanted people to realize how bad it is. Because if you don't watch the documentaries or you don't hear much about them, it kind of goes into the back of your head, or you don't even think about it anymore. But the fact is that they need our help, and if I could bring that to people's recollection, like bring it to forefront in their memories, maybe they'll do something to change it. I believe that we need to stop fighting amongst ourselves and start fighting for this beautiful earth we live on.
And that's what I love about Canada. Canada is all about conservation and, you know, taking care of the country and the natural habitats. I do want to visit one day. Like,
oh, you should.
Possibly, if I come, I might not come back to Jamaica.
Oh, I think you probably will. We all love our homeland, don't we?
Oh yeah, but Canada is my dream country. Trust me, I love the concept of how these people live and take care of their environment. You know, you guys are the best.
Oh, it's beautiful here.
And
we love everybody. We love people to come to
I know you do. You guys would you're so. They are just so generous. I've worked with many Canadians. Trust me, I've worked with many Canadians because I used to work with the hotel industry. So you guys used to come on vacation like every single month. So I know Canadians. They are the best. Well, I love you guys from USA and England and Europe and Africa. I love all of you guys, but trust me, Canadian, these guys are good people.
Thank you.
Now I want you to shout out if there's anybody you want to acknowledge, maybe your illustrator or your beautiful kids. Who do you want to shout out before you go? Because we give you the chance. I
would like to acknowledge my son and my two nephews, because without them, I would never have had the inspiration to write at all. I never really felt like I was a writer. That never crossed my mind until it come about, and I just put pen to paper and started writing. And if it wasn't for their encouragement, I would have never done it. And I love it. It's my passion. I finally found out what I want to be when I grow up.
Nice. And I'm glad that you tested your talent, and I'm glad that you made it happen, because your work can now bless millions all over the world. So keep doing the good job you're doing, Kathy, and it was a pleasure having you with us on the Lady Tracey Show.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Are you looking for a place to stay when you are in Jamaica? Well, look no more. It's the ultimate freedom bed and breakfast. Beagles Drive, Brighton, Santa Cruz. Come along, and make we have some nice time tonight. It's the place that offers somewhere to stay with a difference. You wake up in the morning with the smell of our Jamaican style breakfast. Single occupancy, $65, double $85, and 3 people, just $110. Call us today, 416-301-2698, 1-877-997-6589, 1-876-840-5144, or visit our website ultimatefreedombnb.com, or email us at ultimatefreedomjamaica@gmail.com. It's the ultimate freedom bed and breakfast. Beagles Drive, Brighton, Santa Cruz, Jamaica. It's the place that customers come first. Come along, slow and easy.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. So we are here with the lady Lilly Rose out of Atlanta, Georgia. Lilly is a book author, and she has the most beautiful testimony behind her work. And she has just released this awesome book. It's there on the market. And as you know, we really love to know the history behind these beautiful work. And the Lady Lily is here to share with you. So welcome, Lily. How are you doing today? Welcome to the Lady Tracey Show.
Thank you for inviting me to your show. I'm doing good. How are you this morning?
I am well, thank you. And first, let me personally thank you for the privilege to have your awesome book with us. And now I want to know, what's the history behind Lily? Who is Lily Rose?
Oh, I am a 28-year-old person. I decided to make a book about diversity and different cultural differences that can pretty much, speak on different situations and disabilities. And the reason why I circled around that is because I was born with a disability called Klippel-Trenaunay-Weber syndrome. It's something that a lot of people don't have. The best way I can explain it is that it has a lot of lymphatic issues. It has to do with your vascular system, and it pretty much makes one of your limbs more enlarged than the other one. So my left leg is affected from it. And I speak about that in the book as well through my daughter, who meets different kids with different things going on, and she introduces it from a child growing up with a parent with a disability versus kids being born with a disability, to let them know that they're not alone. So that's pretty much the basis of it. I decided to do it because of my daughter. I wanted her to know, I didn't want her to feel ashamed of me. I wanted her to welcome me, which she never has. But sometimes kids who don't know better, bullying and different things like that go on. And I feel like if you can introduce things from a younger age, it can kind of help eliminate that.
Yes, that is so true. That is so true. And I think you made a bold step, because not every parents will be, want to share their story out there in public. They'll probably just want to keep it between the family. And I think you did a great job, because you're not only helping your daughter, but I am sure you will be helping other children who don't even have a clue what this is, So good job on that, Lily. I am thankful for your testimony. Now tell us, if persons want to get this book, where can they go to get the book, and what's the name of the book?
The book is called The Adventures of Corey, which is my daughter's name, and then it's called Will You Be My Friend? And it's located on Amazon and Barnes & Noble.
Okay, good. Is there anyone that you'd like to shout out before you go?
I would like to shout out my daughter and my family and friends that have supported me from this. They're really the overall support and inspiration behind it.
All right. Thank you so much, Lily. There you have it, listeners. The Lady Lily Rose out of Atlanta, Georgia, with her awesome testimony and her beautiful book that I'm imploring you to go and get. Thank you so much, Lily, for being with us on the Lady Tracey Show. Continue to have yourself a wonderful day now.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right.
Heart full of pain, words of regret, tears dropping down, not knowing what to do. You're so confused, and you're losing your mind. Listen to his voice. He said never give up. He will never fail you nor forsake you. Keeps providing in a time whenever you call. Never fail you nor forsake you. Keeps providing in a time whenever you call. Great are you, Lord, you are greatly to be praised. Expressions of love coming from your children unto you. You're pure and the five, and perfect is the light. We here to praise, and we never give up. He will never fail you nor forsake you. Keeps providing. Whenever you call, He's always right there. Whenever you call, whenever you call, whenever you call, there's no need to fear. Whenever you call, whenever you call, He's always right there. Even in the stormy gate, when all hope is lost, you just need to call on Him. Now lift up your voice and sing. You say, oh, 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 oh. Whenever you call, He is always right there. Whenever you call, yeah, yeah. Whenever you call, sing it. He will never fail you. Keeps providing anytime. He will never anytime. He will never fail you. Never fail you. Anytime. Come on. He's your Father, you got to believe He will answer you. Whenever you call, oh, you don't have to fear, no, no, He will hear you. Whenever you call, this is your confidence, He will hear you. Whenever you call, whenever you call on Him, He will answer you.
Want to learn to play music with a revolutionary musical experience? K-Don Music Academy offers online and face-to-face lessons for piano, guitar, drum set, violin, viola, cello, voice, saxophone, trumpet, flute, and music theory. Call 876-442-2721. That's 876-442-2721. Visit our Facebook page at K-Don Music Academy and follow us on Instagram at K-Don Music Academy 1. Experience the power of music. Music Academy. Register now.
We're here with our radio interview segment, and of course we have a very special guest. This is a wonderful woman out of New York. She is a book author and she goes by the name Verona Willis Brown. Verona is here to share her new release with you, and of course what else it is that she has up her sleeves. Welcome, Verona. Welcome to the Lady Tracey Show. How are you doing today?
Well, thank you for inviting me to your show. I am doing fabulous today.
I love your accent. Can you just tell us a little bit about who Verona is?
Well, let me introduce myself. I am originally and will always be Jamaican.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I am from St. Andrew, Jamaica, and I'm now residing in New York.
All right. Beautiful. Well, you know, you're officially a Jamaican, so you can't really say a New Yorker anymore because
No.
we don't let go our people just like that.
No,
we
not
don't
at all.
we don't
Not
give
at all.
up on
I
our
love
people.
That's right. I love my people, so I represent my people anywhere I go.
All right. So tell us, why did you choose writing of all other career choices?
Well, actually, I am very, very passionate about writing. I've been writing ever since I can remember myself. My parents
who never made it into education very well. My mother never made it past the 4th grade, and my father never made it to high school. They enforced education on their children. I'm from a very, very big family, so learning and writing and education was a must. It was a must. My parents wanted their children to make it past 4th grade, of course, and to pass high school. So we all did. Let me say I'm from a family of 14.
Wow.
Okay.
Yes. You're from a huge family. That's beautiful. I mean, at least you have the opportunity to share your experiences, because it's not always easy growing up in a huge family. But it's good to have something to share. All right, now tell us about that book. You told me that it's part 2 of part 1. What exactly made you wrote this book? And tell us a little bit about the title.
Okay, so the first book is called Are You Free Enough? And I'm going to go into the first book just a little bit before I get into part 2. When I wrote part 1, I wrote it on the fact that I felt like I wasn't free enough within myself, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and just overall. I felt like I was just locked in. I was that person that's always giving myself to somebody else or to my family. As I mentioned before, I'm from a big family. However, I felt like I was the go-to person in the family, as much as I fall in the bottom of the list of 14. I felt like I was the CPU of the family. And I gave myself so much to them and so much to people that I felt like I was holding myself back. And I'm a mother of one child. I raised her. I gave everything to her. I invest everything to her. And again, I felt like I am not giving myself anything. So I felt locked in. I felt really, really locked in. So when I started writing this book, I wrote this book based on a lot of things that's happening, just overall reality stuff, as well as journaling stuff that I've been journaling for years. I'm a journalist. I love to journal. I love to write. It's been my passion. So when I did this book, I did it based on a lot of stuff that I journal over the years, as well as what's happening today, where you see a fair going on, and a fair going on from forever and forever. Amen. So the book is based on an affair of a married man with a young girl. And I stretch their story in such a sense where it's relatable. It's relatable.
Beautiful.
Because an affair is happening from day one.
Beautiful. Well,
it's happening in the White House, the jailhouse, the church.
Wow.
So I made it into a way where everybody can relate to, because if you go to the church, somebody's having an affair. If you go to the White House, somebody's having an affair. And I did just where you can relate to it.
Awesome.
So then I went to part 2. It took me a year to go back to part 2, and I did it deliberately because I know I was going to go to part 2 in there, because I left part 1 as a cliffhanger.
Okay. Thank you so much, Verona, for sharing. Now, it gets me to ask you, if persons want to purchase this book, where can they go to get it, and what's the cost?
The cost is $15. And you can always go on Amazon and get it. It's available on Amazon. It's newly released. It's only a month old. I call it my 1-month baby. So you can go on Amazon and you can purchase that book. If you would like an autographed copy, you can get in touch with me personally, and I would autograph it and I would send it to you along with a complimentary free gift. I will not reveal what my gift is because it's a surprise. I like to surprise people.
Nice. Beautiful. All right. There you have it, listeners. The Lady Verona. Now, Verona, I want you to shout out someone who has really been inspiring to you in writing this book before you go, because it's always good, to say a bit of thank you on our journey. Who do you want to shout out?
Okay, I want to thank just about everybody who pushed me, who believed in me. I don't like to name names because then I don't want to eliminate nobody and then I feel bad. Okay, so I would like to just shout out to everyone who read part 1 of this book and pushed me to say, where is part 2? Because you left us thinking, and I said that was the whole point. So I want to thank those people. I want to thank the people who prayed me through. And most of all, which we don't often do, is thank ourselves. I want to definitely thank myself for not giving up on this dream, a dream that I've been dreaming about as long as I can remember as a little girl.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Verona. So we had the Lady Verona Brown for you right there in New York, and of course our very own Jamaican favorite. Thank you so much for being with us on Lady Tracey's show, Verona. Continue to have yourself a wonderful day and an awesome new year. Thank you for being with us today and for sharing your wonderful book.
Thank you so much, Tracey, for inviting me. It's been a pleasure.
All right. Take care now. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey, what's up, family? How you living? This is Sarah V, and you're listening to the Lady Tracey Show.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh. Stressing and searching, looking for answers, when my world seems to be falling apart. I'm holding on by your word and your scars. Lord, please hear my cry. Wipe these tears from my eyes. You said you'll never leave me, so I'm praying and pleading, 'cause I know that you are Jehovah Jireh, my provider. You are my comfort in my weakest hour. You are. God, you are, yeah, Jehovah Jireh, my provider. You're my comfort in my weakest hour. You're the potter, I'm clay. Lord, please wipe these tears from my eyes on today. I wanna be a true and living sacrifice. So remove everything that's not of you out of my life. You are my strength, my hope, my shield. You are my faith, and to you I kneel. You are my everything is you. Without you in my life, I don't know what I would do. You are my joy and sorrow. You
You are Jehovah Jireh. You're the God who provides. And we bless you on today, God. Thank you for being a healer. It's your boy, Jerry Kingston. Crystal Ray. Proceed. Tell them, girl.
Fight my battles for me, Lord. Come on now, fight my battles for me, Lord. But I will go, Lord, where you lead me. Fight my battles for me, Lord. Everybody sing. Woo. Fight my battles for me, Lord. Come on now. Fight my battles for me, Lord. I will go, Lord. I will go, Lord, where you lead me. Fight my battles for me, Lord. Listen, the race is not for the swift, but who can endure this battle? It's not mine, it's the Lord. Come now, Jesus, and fight this for me. Fight my battles for me. Fight my battles for me. Fight my battles for me, Lord. Yeah, yeah. Fight my battles for me, Lord. Everybody sing, yeah. Fight my battles for me, Lord. I will go where. I will go, Lord, where you lead me. Fight my battles for me, Lord.
When the walls around me seem to be caving in, you said, my child, don't you worry, just be still. So I get on my knees and pray to you to make a way. Give me victory, God. Fight my battles for me. Fight my battles for me, Lord. Fight my battles for me, Lord. Fight my battles for me, Lord. Don't worry where you lead me. Fight my battles for me, Lord. Yeah.
Fight my battles for me, Lord.
Say,
Fight my battles for me, Lord.
oh Jesus,
I will go, Lord,
don't worry
where you
where you lead me.
Fight my battles
Oh
for me.
Lord,
Fight my battles
oh
for me.
Lord.
Fight my battles for me, Lord. We are to fight, be brave against all evil. Never, never run or even look behind. For us to win with the Lord on our side. Fight my battles for me. Fight my battles for me. Fight my battles for me, Lord. Yeah, yeah. Fight my battles for me, Lord. Everybody say yeah. Fight my battles for me, Lord. Lord, I need you.
I will worry where you lead me.
Fight my battles.
Oh,
Fight my battles.
fight my battles.
Fight my battles.
Fight my battles.
Fight my battles. In the noonday. Fight my battles. In the midnight hour. In the middle of the storm. Who am I back against the wall? Fight my battles.
Send you the best. Confuse the enemy.
Lord, I need you, I need you. I need you, I need you.
But don't know Jesus Christ not dead. Hey man, what am I chat about?
Why me not know no Kevin? But we have to set them straight.
Alright, Sister Sasha, tell them.
My God is not dead.
No, no.
God is not dead.
Never.
So you can trust him and you will.
Hey, Lady Tracey, you don't know, say, how you run things from radio. You know why? Because the Lord God Almighty sign and seal it. Yeah, man, Kevin Smith said that. Big up yourself, yeah, girl, every time. Hey, man. But don't know Jesus Christ not dead. What am I chat about?
Why me not know no Kevin? But we have to set them straight.
Alright, Sister Sasha, tell them.
My God is not dead.
No, no.
God is not dead.
Never.
So you can trust him and you will see what the Spirit has done for you. God is not dead, he is alive.
My God, he is not dead. Your God, he is not dead. Our God, he is not dead.
artist. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to say, but we got to go. This is where we say goodbye for now. Thank you, guests, all you lovely visitors who have been with us. Thank you, listeners. Thank you very much, Tops Radio team. You have been a great company. I have been your host for today, the Lady Tracey Williams.
He's not dead, work hard, he's not dead. Oh, I got